Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to our fourth and final best of one for day one of the American Starladder preliminary qualifiers. What a mouthful that is, Merlini. But we've got a pretty epic game coming up here. Team Wild Witch Doctors, the team headed by IX
You
Mike.
gotta say it like Witch Doctor says it.
Team, how does he?
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor.
Kind of like that. I don't know. I'm not very good at accents.
Yeah, well, me neither.
You play support though. You're supposed to know what he sounds like.
Yeah, I don't play
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor. I could do Dazzle. That's it. That's no Witch Doctors though. I don't play Witch Doctor so
We haven't
often.
seen Dazzle picked up at all.
I know. I don't know what's going on. Like, this team's
He's
missed the memo. Dazzle's really good. Don't sell him short.
He's good.
He's pretty solid. He's pretty solid. So and then Team Dog, big team over there. We've got Piecat and Misery. Those are the inseparable duo that they've bounced around. They were playing with SSD a little bit, so they found a new home. And then there's Demon, Fogged, and Mason. That's like an NA all-star lineup right there.
Yeah, but there will be ping issues because this is an American qualifier, so it should be on US servers. So that is something to consider.
Yeah.
And today they will not be playing as Team Dog. They'll be playing as Turtle Masters.
Turtle Masters. Oh,
the other
how
animal.
Nice.
Cool
Yeah,
animal.
the other animal. Well, perhaps Turtle Masters will be indicative of the strategy they go for, or perhaps not. It was a first pick Marana from the Wild Witch Doctors, and then Chen and Nature's Prophet from the Turtle Masters. A lot of aggressive push already, Merlini.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty solid.
Pretty good.
Chen, Nature's Prophet. Is that a gamble grabbing those two in your first two picks?
Chen and Nature's Prophet?
Chen, Nature's Prophet.
If you have a
no.
good Chen player and a good Nature's
Alright.
Prophet player, no. Definitely not.
We just don't see it too frequently these days. It's,
Chen's very highly rated by very good teams and not so highly rated by the mid to decent teams.
right.
It's because like in pubs, are you scared of people picking Chen? Probably not.
No,
but
not usually.
But like if there's a good Chen player, he can destroy games.
Yeah. Are you a good Chen player?
I'm mediocre.
Mediocre.
I can't
Chen
destroy
player.
games.
You can't destroy games.
No, I can destroy creeps.
I can
destroy
destroy
neutral
lanes until I hit about level 5. When I have one
Oh.
creep, oh man, I'm
No,
nailing those
I find
war
a
stomps.
really hard time balancing when and where to gank with Chen. But
yeah.
the really experienced Chen players have no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Chen it's too stressful. I don't like it. I get about halfway through the game and just want to stop. It's too much micro, too many units.
Yeah.
too
And then
much-
after that, you have to like concentrate on everyone's HP, healing
Yeah,
like, across the map,
yeah.
and then send backs and stuff. It's not easy.
It's stressful, man. It's just
It is very stressful.
You know, I'd rather play Nature's Prophet if I'm gonna have to go in the jungle.
Nature's Prophet's not an easy hero either.
It's not easy, but you know,
It's easier.
Easier than Chen, but that's not
Yeah.
really saying much. And while we're on the top,
Oh, they might be doing the mag strat.
Are they?
I don't know. I know Fog
so.
likes it.
Yeah, I know Fogged likes it.
At the same time, it is a qualifier. It's not best of one. So
Well, no, this is best of one.
oh, it's best of one. It's not one loss elim.
Yes, double elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's not one loss elim, then they can go for other
Yeah.
stuff.
So
But
yeah, this is a game where they could afford to gamble. No one's
Yeah.
going home after this.
Lion's very good versus Timbersaw.
Mhm.
A lot of magical burst and Hex just crushes him. Also
Right.
good versus Marana. Slark is also very good versus Marana. I see that matchup a lot, and especially in pubs, and Slark just crushes Marana.
Yeah.
Because you can't leap out of the pounce. It's
So,
pretty brutal.
When you're stuck in the pounce, is your leap just disabled, or is it similar to
No,
like,
you can leap. You just
you
don't
leap,
go
but
anywhere.
you don't go anywhere? Or does the leash stretch? Like, you know how Storm Spirit, if he's leashed and then he ults, he stays rooted, but he can move. So like if he runs out of mana, he's still leashed. It's just a really long leash.
Yeah, it's
it's not like that?
It's not like that.
It's not, okay.
You can't travel outside that radius.
So you just leap and then land where you were. I actually
Yeah.
kind of want to see that. I'm picturing Marana just kind of hopping in the air.
That's pretty much what happens.
It's adorable.
And then she dies.
Oh, poor kitty. Poor kitty. So, Puck and Lion together. All right. I mean, Dream Coil sort of groups them up. Let's see.
Oh, so for Turtle Masters,
Oh, yeah, right. This game. Yeah.
yeah. So for Turtle Masters, like Piecat, so it's indeterminate roles as of yet because this is the first time we've seen Team Dog play because the team was announced yesterday. So Fog typically plays support. He used to play solo mid. Demon sometimes plays solo mid, but most of the time he plays, I think, support too. Piecat usually plays carry. I'm not sure who's going to be off lane. I expect Demon to be off lane, Piecat to be carry, Misery and Fog to be support, and Mason to be solo mid.
Okay.
Mason plays the fairly high skill capped solo mid heroes. He's pretty good puck, very good puck, and pretty good storm.
Okay.
Too. So he plays those sort of heroes.
All right. That's good to know.
Yeah. and they probably are going to play pretty aggressively. I don't think they're going to play very passively, especially when you're learning as a team. It's much better to play aggressively because you push your limits a lot more than playing passively, and you learn as a team.
That's a good little training tip right there.
Yeah, because like if you don't get any kills, it's like, well, wait, I can turtle in base for 30 minutes. I do that in pubs all the time. Like you can. But if you like want to move around together, build your teamwork, build your movement together as a team, it's much better to go for aggressive strategies.
So interesting. Spectre, their final choice. Turtle Masters are actually ones to ban out the Slark that we were talking about. Works well against Marana. And they will grab Spectre. Perhaps they were looking for the Luna. She would have fit very well into this roster. I think a smart ban from IX Mike down there.
Yep, IX Mike and his crew. I am friends with Sna and Ush. I know them decently. Ush, pretty flexible player, so is Sna. IX Mike, he's been playing a lot of Faceless Void lately too. So
really?
I don't know if they're going to go for that. But it is an option for them if they wanted to run like a bottom solo mid. But
I've seen a lot of the Void games that have happened, but it has not happened in a game that I've casted since those changes. I've yet to cast a Faceless Void, and I don't know if I've ever casted a Faceless Void. I've seen him paint plenty of times, but never in a game that I've had the privilege of casting. XCOM
usually plays support. I don't know who WWD is.
Yeah, he's their team mascot, obviously.
So Wild Witch Doctor is a pretty standard strat. I'd say Bane Marana, probably one of the most popular combos that we see. Timbersaw, probably the best offlaner in this version. Clockwork or Timber. I don't know. They're both.
I think Clockwork takes the cake.
Clockwork's probably a better offlaner in the lane, but in terms of like actual team fight, I think Timbersaw is pretty good. It depends on how the game's going. Like last game, we didn't really see Timber do too much.
It does depend on draft as well. If it's a heavy strength lineup, obviously Timber's better. If it's a less strength lineup, it sort of depends as well on like if.
I'd probably say Clockwork's a better hero.
Yeah.
But he keeps getting nerfed, man.
That's true. That's for good reason. He's crazy.
Yeah, they're both crazy.
Like
that's true. I also think Timbersaw is easier to play.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. That I can agree with. I mean, he just has less. Well, I guess he has skill shots, but they're. I mean, Chakra's pretty easy.
They're all a low cooldown too.
Yeah.
Well, if you miss it, well, it's up in like 5 seconds anyways.
Yeah. And ooh,
that's cool. I did not expect that.
Yeah. So.
It's a very somewhat similar strat to last game. It's like a 45 strat.
So is this
Masters?
Is this a mid Night Stalker or is this a position 1 Night Stalker?
It should be a mid Night Stalker.
Mid Night Stalker, position 1 Marana with the Bane Veno, and then an off lane Timber.
Ush usually doesn't play mid, so it'll be Snom mid.
Okay, interesting. So, I mean, we can talk about Night Stalker a little bit maybe when we get into the lane and we know exactly how they're laning, but we've seen a shift in Night Stalker. It used to be all about the solo mid, and then the night changes that we're all well aware of from 6.79. And now sometimes we see position 1 Night Stalker, sometimes we see solo mid. Where do you think he shines the most?
I think he's better in solo mid than... it depends on what you're going for. If you're... I think it's still better as solo mid because he needs levels. Like, who's scared of a Night Stalker who's like the same level as your supports? It's not that scary. But if he's like level 7 when your support's a level 4, which is usually what your supports
I agree.
are compared to your mid, then he's very scary because he can like void kill with like 3 auto attacks. So the roles for Turtle Masters are actually very different than what I expected. Pycat is playing support. I expected Demon in off lane and Mason in mid. I think they're going to be swapped. Looks like Demon's going to be mid and Mason off lane. Fog going to be playing Chen, and looks like Misery will be playing Spectre. I rarely see Misery play anything other than support.
Yeah, and for those of you that are confused, there are little hints about their names. Pycat Dog is obviously Pycat, that one's easy. Dogman, that's Demon. Dogged is Fogged. MYM Dog is Misery. And then last but not least, just Doge. I guess he's got some Doge coins. It's our man Mason right there on the Nature's Prophet. Interesting. So down to the bottom, on the Radiant side of the map, we've got Team WWD. We've got IX Mike playing on the Timbersaw in the solo safe lane. Sna going to be on the Night Stalker in the solo mid role, and then they will have an aggressive try. WWD on the Bane. We'll have Ush playing on the Marana, and XCOM on the support Venoman.
This is very unusual laning from Turtle Masters, and I kind of actually like it. They're going to put a Spectre versus a Timbersaw, and they're going to force Wild Witch Doctors to react to them, because it's up to WWD to shut down Spectre's farm, because they're not going to outcarry a Spectre if they have even farm. So it's on Wild Witch Doctors to rotate, and they're actually being something unpredictable. IX Mike is down there, though. Looks like Pycat is down there to try and zone out IX Mike. Yeah. Oh, we didn't introduce... Oh, did we introduce both lineups?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
You got it. Wow.
Oh,
Look at Ike's Mike. He might die here.
Oh, no, he doesn't have Timber Chain as well. It's just the Whirling Death.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That salve will be just enough to keep him alive.
2.5 second hex at level 1. That is ridiculous. And the level 1 Desolate, too.
Yeah. And it is 4 at level 4.
There goes his salve, and there goes his lane.
Yeah, that is rough. They don't get the kill, but still they will zone him out. And I'm not sure if WWD are aware that Chen is jungling aggressively here.
Yep, they see him with the sword.
Oh, yeah, there. Duh, yeah, there it is. So they do catch wind, but well, Fogged will be okay for now. Meanwhile, up top, we've got this tri-lane, and oh my, Lanta, I missed it. I missed him.
He wasn't able to heal up from the... I mean, he was at like probably 200, 250 HP, so hex kill.
Easy peasy. Well, that's good news for the Turtle Masters over there. Spectre did actually grab the last hit, so...
that's disastrous. Like, Wild Witchhawk just has to do something better. They either need to kill Furion, or they need to gank the other lanes, because this is not working out for them.
Yep.
Giving Spectre free farm is just probably one of the worst ideas in the game. Because he's so easy to pressure if you have a tri-lane, especially a 3-range tri-lane.
I mean, look at this. Mike is level 2, still doesn't have Timber Chain, and they're going to dive into the tier 2 right here. And there's no reason not to pursue. There's another Hex. In comes the Bane, but okay, the Defensive Nightmare, and it's just not enough. Now in comes Doge, a.k.a. Mason. And is the Bane going to fall as well? No, he will make it back to the tower.
Look how aggressively they're playing. That is just absurd. It's 2 minutes in, and they're diving the T2s.
That's insane.
But this rotation should have come a lot early. As soon as they saw that Spectre was bottom, they should have moved. And instead, they waited too long. And it's not like they caped down Mason. Mason's still level 3. He had boost to start off with, so they're not going to be able to kill him unless he's wildly out of position. So they should have rotated earlier. And it was something that's unexpected from Turtle Master, but it's not something that they can't deal with.
Right. And I would attribute some of that to Timbersaw just not getting that early Timber Chain. You know, some Timbersaws really like to wait as long as they can. Oh, just off the mark. And Fogged will survive. But, yeah, I mean, we see a lot of Timbersaws going for this more greedy build where you wait to get that Timber Chain. And if he had at least gotten it level 2.
Or reactive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if he was reactive Timber Chain, just any point in Timber Chain at either of those, I think he would have been able to survive probably both times.
It's 4-second cooldown at all levels.
Yeah.
So like one value point is incredibly good.
I am a big fan of the value point in the Timber Chain, but, well, IX Mike looking to be a little more greedy here, and it does cost him two deaths already.
So now they've swapped. They got 2 kills on bottom, and now they forced Wild Witchhawkers to react and come down, and then now they're going to force them to react again by placing Spectre on top. So they're just dragging Wild Witchhawkers around the map, and their early game is off to a very, very, very poor start. So it's going to be, there's a lot of pressure on Sna right now, and Night Stalker, like when there's pressure on him to gank, it usually doesn't work out for him because the other team's usually very prepared because they know that that's the only way they can get back in the game, or it's their best way to get back in the game, rather, not the only way.
Right. And Bane will rotate back up to the top lane. So it is Bane Mirana.
Mid smoking.
Trying to slow down the Spectre, but in the mid, Sna in big trouble. Oh, that Earth Spike. I don't know how that was able to connect, but they will finish him off with one last auto attack. So, speak of the devil, the hero that they were counting on now going to take a spill, and Turtle Masters have essentially just won all 3 of the lanes.
They just outplayed him in the first 5 minutes. First with the Spectre on bottom, and then like preemptively ganking Night Stalker right before nighttime. He's not even level 5 yet. You can't really do that much damage as a level 4 Night Stalker.
Yeah. Yeah, this is already a little bit of a disaster. Looking at the last hit chart, they've got their Mirana farming reasonably well, but as you mentioned, Mirana's not going to outcarry a Spectre. And even though she's got a lot of last hits, still about on point with where the Spectre has compliments of all those kills he's picked up. So it looks like this is where the lane rotations will settle down. We see Mason now in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, up top, Fogged will move out of the jungle. They want to set up a kill onto Bane. Can the War Stomp get there in time? It does. That is one dead Bane Elemental. And Spectre will walk away with yet another kill. A killing spree on Spectre in the first 5 minutes.
That is when you know your game is not going well. And he has 3 points in Desolate too. When you don't have to go defensive at all with Spectre, he just hones.
Wow. So they're in good shape. 4-0. They've got the kills on the heroes that count. Sna has made it up to the top lane now.
They got an arrow, but the Night Stalker backed off.
Oh, no. He didn't think the arrow was going to connect. Now he's in some trouble. A few more auto attacks. Oh, the salve. Then the Hex. He's still alive. Spectre will make it out. The support is spot on. XCOM does throw a Gale. Connects with Chen, but he doesn't need to move. He's just going to stand there. Will auto attack down the Night Stalker. And all the while, Fogged landed a War Stomp on top of the Chen. Or, pardon me, not the Chen, the Mirana. They're both riding ponies. They look the same. But Mirana will fall. This is just a disaster. It's just an utter and complete disaster for Team WWD.
It is. It really is.
God.
I'm trying to think about what can salvage them right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that whole fight, and that was confusing my chin.
First, it was going to be a rotation. Like, Veno could have babysat Timbersaw on bottom and just kind of zone out the Lion from harassing him, but that didn't go well because Timbersaw died before anyone rotated down there. And then Night Stalker, I was like, okay, well, maybe he can do some damage in a 4 to 8 minute mark, and then they killed him twice already. And now, at this point, you can't rely on late game farm because Potem is not going to out carry Spectre, and Spectre's huge, and the Lion isn't even level 6 yet. Neither Nature's Prophet, and things are only going to start to get worse.
Oh, an arrow does connect onto Puck in the mid lane, and this should be enough to get a kill on the board at least. Snog will grab that one. Now Pycat caught inside of the Nightmare. No, arrow cooldown will hex the Night Stalker straight away, but Pycat is destined to fall, so they get a couple of kills on the board.
Demon bought back too. Well, that's what they needed. That should cut the gold lead pretty significantly too.
Wow.
So that's 2 kills, 2 deaths, and a buyback. I don't know. Demon does weird stuff like that all the time. Demon does questionable things. I would say he's probably one of the least rational decision-making players. Not that he's a bad player. It's just a lot of things he does is irrational.
Yeah. Well, that buyback. I mean, he just went back to farming. He didn't really do anything special with it. All of a sudden, in the bottom lane.
Okay. Well, it was 6-0, and we were like, well, how did they get back in the game? And the question is, or the answer is, Turtle Master just gives them 3 kills.
Yeah.
So
and a buyback.
They're right back in, and the buyback. Yeah.
Yeah, so this roaming Mirana did go for some early phase boots here. So, well, we'll be able to move around the map a bit more. But still in the net worth chart, well, it's not as bad as I thought. I was going to say Spectre's still #1, but not by much. Mirana has actually caught up to the farm of this Spectre.
Yeah, they haven't killed the Spectre at all yet, though. So that's probably the biggest worry if I'm Wild with Chalkers. He's 3-0-2 right now. He doesn't have that much farm. He only has phase and 1,200 gold, 8 minutes in, which isn't massive, but it's still a Spectre with free farm 8 minutes in. With level 7, and that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. He is the definition of a hard carry, and this early momentum is not only going to make their late game difficult, but even just the mid game. I mean, Spectre will have a presence. The glyph is popped by the Radiant side, I guess, to deter Demon's pressure to the tier 1 tower in the mid. He does have a double damage rune on, so this tower is taking a fair bit of damage.
Now it's daytime, though, so at least they'll Turtle Masters can regain some sort of momentum.
That's true. That's very true. And how do you feel about the changes of night cycles in 6.79?
I think that actually hurt his first ganks, but other than that, it makes him a lot stronger because a lot of heroes don't have Ultra Vision. Ultra Vision, also known as Night Vision, Dota 1.
Oh, okay.
Well, I played Night Elf, and the research was called Ultra Vision to reduce Ultra Vision.
I gotcha.
I still call it Ultra Vision. Oh, an arrow tanked by Satyr Tormentor. But yeah, I think the bigger buff to him was that a lot of heroes don't have nighttime vision, like Alchemist, like Drow Ranger, like Ancient Apparition, like Meepo. All those heroes don't have night vision anymore, so that just makes the hero a lot stronger.
Right. There is a smoke from Team Dog here on our dire side. Chen, as well as his little Satyr, and Pycat will be smoked up. And they rotate towards the mid lane. Pycat is sitting level 5 right now. Fog gets revealed in the jungle by the Venomancer. In comes a Chakram, barely clips him. They need to be a bit careful here. Wow, that Gale barely going to connect as IX Mike does hop forward. There's the ult from Spectre. They secure the kill onto Chen, but it may cost IX Mike his life. Puck, and there's another fight happening here. Too many fights happening at once. IX Mike on the defensive as Mason is going to try and finish him off. He will pour it out, but no. Fog going to finish him off with the Satyr Shockwave. So meanwhile in the mid, though, I did not catch any of the Puck Spectre killing the Veno Night Stalker as that was happening.
Yeah, I did not catch it either. My eyes were on the other fight.
Yeah, so two fights at once, but wow. Oh, another shift in momentum for our Turtle Masters here. Now going to be 9-4. That was a 4-for-1, just the Chen. Only kill they picked up.
Yep.
And with that, wow, Demon going to grab a 10-minute blink on Puck. That's pretty darn early.
It is very darn early, even with the buyback. So it didn't send him back that far.
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah,
but Spectre is under no sort of pressure. He can go Radiance at this point, and it looks like he is going to go to it. And how are they going to deal with the Radiant Spectre?
Yeah, he's going to have it very quickly as well. Meanwhile, in the mid, Snon some trouble. As the Finger of Death comes out, Dream Coil Demon will just try and pour it out, but there's the Fiend's Grip. They secure the kill on Puck. And Lion, not out of the clear yet, will throw an Earth Spike. Arrow off the mark. And Pycat, I think he is in trouble. There it is. Snog going to finish him off. So a small feed in the mid lane. The Turtle Masters may be getting a bit too aggressive, but I suppose we have to say space created as Misery still farms away at the top.
They have a lot of wiggle room to deal with too, and Nature's Prophet is going to have his Hand of Midas up very, very soon. And looks like Spectre gets sent back, so that's good. Dealing with like 2 lives with Spectre is just so incredibly difficult. Like, I think Spectre is an amazing Aegis carrier, and if they can like send him back and then have him like haunt in, and then he has Aegis, that's just ridiculous amounts of dispersion damage. I think that's where the hero's real strength lies, is dispersion as well as Desolate plus Diffusal. But I generally prefer the dispersion just because it's safer. All you need to do is take damage, which you're going to do.
Just stand there and take damage and dish it out.
It's so easy.
Doesn't get much more simple than that.
I know.
Oh, man. So on the side of our Turtle Masters here, it looks like actually Fog is falling behind a little bit. He is level 5, close to level 6, but he is actually the lowest level in the game behind that of Lion. Working towards the mech, still not really that close, only the headdress in tow, as well as a Ring of Basilius. So it is holding back the Turtle Masters a little bit. Demon, whoa, buddy, you need to be a little bit careful there. There are 3 ready to converge, but he just blinked back in time. And there's another item that they picked up. Ah, yes, the Hand of Midas on Nature's Prophet. So Mason is going to be working towards that farm, and Demon is forced to burn the Dream Coil, but a Fiend's Grip used by the Bane. And will Demon fall? No, Fog comes in, still not level 6, doesn't have the Hand of God. He tries to get in the way, but it's not enough to keep him alive. They may turn it around on the Night Stalker. It is nighttime. He's trying to cruise away, but no, Misery won't let it happen. Now the Bane in big trouble. They did finish off the Chen, and it will settle down as a 2-for-2 in that tight area known as the river. Oh, arrow connects onto Pycat. The Chakram down. Support is nearby, and Ush actually leaps to the low ground. I think that's going to cost him.
He spent all his gold, though.
Okay.
But he feeds Spectre another. I don't think that was necessary.
I don't think so either. Wow, he really wanted that kill, though.
He really did.
He was proud of the arrow and said, I'm taking a trophy. I'm taking this. So this is a strange game. I feel like both sides have been kind of hyper-aggressive. Is that a fair assertion here? Sort of the
overextending.
Overextending, yeah. They're just kind of going.
Hyper-aggressive is good, too.
These YOLO moves, man. Just hopping in. That was a total
Demon
YOLO
is king
move
of YOLO.
Marana. Yeah, king of YOLO.
He really is. Oh, wow, that's a relic.
But yeah, there's one statistic that I think sums up this game, Merlini. Spectre's KDA, 7-0-4 at 13 minutes.
Misery is not going YOLO. He wants to win.
Yeah, he wants to win, and that's a really early
Oh, they want to kill him, though, but he just spent his gold.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
Not the biggest of deals. And Hand of God comes out. Misery, the Spectral Dagger. He moves into the trees. Oh, so close. But just enough damage for that Night Stalker to finish him off. Now Snop possibly in some trouble. No, but it is nighttime.
That was a still pretty important kill. If they had caught him like a minute earlier, that would have been huge. But since he just bought his relic, he didn't really lose that much gold at all.
Yeah, still a kill onto the Spectre, but you're absolutely right.
Where's Demon when you need him?
Yeah. And he actually almost survived as well. That's
if Demon were there at that fight, they would have cleaned house, though.
Marana down bottom was tangoing with the Nature's Prophet. Then Pycat comes in, drops the finger, then just turns around and they deny the tower. So nice victory in the bottom lane. And, ooh, smoked up near the top rune spawn here at the 15-minute mark. It is a haste rune. It will be the Night Stalker that throws it in the bottle. Oh, Fog, you are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Gale to start it off. Night Stalker drops his array of spells, and they secure an easy kill onto the Chen. Meanwhile, though, Night Stalker will pay with his life as he, well, moves to the high ground while the rest of his opponents move onto their side of the map, and it ends up being a 1-for-1. Chen for Night Stalker, a good trade for the Turtle Masters.
Yep. Good trade indeed. And meanwhile, Spectre just farming away, Demon creating a little bit of space in mid with Fog. Fog has been dying a lot, but he's still been doing a decent amount of work with his creeps. Mike, I really haven't seen that much of, I suppose. He's only been involved in 4 kills out of 11 on Wild Witch Doctors.
Yeah. I think Chen's actually been playing very well. He's 1-3-9, so that means Fog has been involved in 10 of their 14 kills. That's pretty impressive given that he is
Demon might be in a pickle. He is in a pickle.
He's in a big one. The arrow will connect. The Gale was off the mark, but yeah.
He didn't even get the tower in mid. Demon, as I said, king of YOLO.
The king of YOLO. It was denied. That was a really YOLO play right there. Went for the tower, didn't even get it, and Well, he created some space. Mason got the tier 1
Demon
down
is
bottom.
interesting to watch at the very least, though.
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's definitely a true statement there, my friend. So Goldgraph, this Goldgraph's been all over the place. It reflects the YOLO moves. It's like a little worm just up and down, squiggling all over the place. And Mason down bottom. He's going to try to pour it out, and he'll make it. He pulled out that calculator, did the math, and came out ahead.
Bane looking for anyone, but wow, he's actually going for the mech too. You do not see that very often.
No,
a Bane
you
mech.
don't. I guess they just don't have another great mech carrier, though.
Venomancer would be good, but he went Tranquils, so he doesn't have the mana pool for it.
Tranquil's on Veno.
Oop, there's a smoke. Looking for another kill. It is nighttime, only for about 10 more seconds, though. 5 more seconds.
And they won't find anything, as all of the Dire are
They might find Demon.
in their jungle.
Don't
Whoa.
speak too soon.
Speak of the devil. Demon, look at you. What are you? And he goes
He goes
forward.
in?
He goes in. I'm, okay, Nature's Prophet. He's coming in. There's the Moonlight Shadow. Oh, Mason, you need to be a little careful, but there's the Spectre Ultimate. And
Oh, he has Radiance.
Bane falls, yeah.
Now they will pay for letting him farm for 15 minutes.
Yeah, he picked up that Radiance right before this fight started. So, okay, that was the Demon YOLO move right there. And I guess we should have been a little easier on him. They've got the global presence of Spectre and Nature's Prophet. The support was there even when they
And the
weren't
Chen
there.
heal.
And the Chen heal, and now with the mech. So, okay, I see what you were doing, Demon. I'm sorry for doubting you, but that was... As he hopped in, I
doesn't
was
mean
just
he's
like-
not a YOLO king.
Yeah, I just saw that like before my eyes, like him just getting bursted down before the support got there in time. But no, they executed well. Meanwhile, up top, IX Mike not out of the clear yet. He does have Timber Chain now, which is good news. But oh, Pycat does
Got
get the
the
hex
hex
off.
off,
Not
yeah.
enough. Unfortunately, the Fiend's Grip is nearby, and Pycat will pay with his life. A noble effort, but won't be enough. Venomous Gale actually comes out. They really want this Hellbear, and they get it.
But Spectre still just balling out of control.
And Mirana is trying to go.
Oh,
toe-to-toe
that
with Nature's
arrow!
Prophet.
What?
Connects. Mason will try to pour it out. He makes it. That was a close call.
That was a nice arrow too. I totally thought that wasn't gonna hit. He like predicted his move there. Pretty
and
nasty.
a level 2 Necronomicon out on the Nature's Prophet now.
Demon, it's your time. It's your time to make a big play.
And there's a Dream Coil. Does connect with only 2, but IX Mike and WWD in big trouble. The Timbersaw, he's out of mana. He's out of cooldowns. Bane will be the first to fall, but IX Mike is not far behind. That's a 2-for-0. Both of them going the way of Spectre, and it's not over yet, baby. Venomancer in big trouble. Puck will grab that one, but that is a 3-for-0 exchange. Now Sna, well, he's just going to about face. Nothing he can do, and he will
Yeah,
survive.
it being daytime is just it's
Yeah.
not a good time for Wild Witch Doctors to be up that far without any support.
Yep. And the Tier 1 tower falls. Looking at the gold graph, Team Dogs starting to pick up a lot of momentum. 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience here.
Yeah, I mean the game just completely changed as soon as Spectre got his Radiance.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the net worth chart. Nature's Prophet and Spectre are basically just having a field day. That's. I remember field days in gym class. Best day of the year. Go out, get to play.
I like snow days.
Play some. Yeah, all right. Maybe snow days are better, but field days were fun too.
Field days were fun. I had an international day. Do you have international day? at school?
International day?
Yeah,
No,
it was like where every class represented a country, and then you would like do stuff for that
Oh,
country.
yeah, we called that UN Day.
Oh, UN Day.
UN
Oh.
Day. Yeah.
We were Scotland once, and I wore a kilt in elementary school.
Well, look at them.
I know.
That's badass.
I was
That-
like, what?
that
Oh,
doesn't
I was like, this thing would make me look like a girl, but I was in kindergarten, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, when we did UN Day, I got Nepal, which does not have a big influence on the international scene, so I pretty much just sat there and said, yeah, tourism, Mount Everest. That's it. What else happens in Nepal?
Wow, you guys actually talked. All we did was walk around the track.
No, I'm talking about UN Day, International Day.
Yeah.
Your countries, you just walked around the track?
It was elementary school, dude.
Oh.
We don't know anything about
No,
UN.
we pretended to talk. I mean, we didn't know shit either, but we just talked about
no.
countries and.
No, we
You're
we
supposed
just
to do research, write a little paper about your country. It's
we
all-
made food and walked around the track and had a sign.
Merlini, you are Scotland. Now walk around the track and think about Scotland.
That's
Like,
pretty much it.
That's weird, man. That's where did you go to school? Atlanta?
Georgia.
Georgia? Okay. How was it?
It was okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
The public school system is.
It's okay.
Decent.
It's okay in New Jersey. I would give it a solid B plus.
They didn't teach us anything about the UN though.
No, well, that was actually my private school and elementary school. We didn't
Oh,
pay the big bucks.
this guy.
Quaker school, man.
So you're making fun of my public school.
Yeah, well, I only went to private school for like 4 years or so. It's like 2nd to 5th grade.
Oh.
Had a little falling out with the public teachers when I was in 1st grade. I got, first of all, they gave me the wrong teacher. So, like, I went into the wrong classroom. That was embarrassing. I probably cried a little bit. So then they gave me the old grumpy teacher that nobody wanted. And she was in a pending lawsuit because she threw a chair at one of the students, like, the last year. And it was still pending, and they refused to switch me out of the classes. So my mom said, all right, we're going to private school.
Wow. That's a good reason.
It's a pretty good reason.
That's a very good reason.
And it was like this old lady, too. I don't know why. Why would you throw a chair? Just like, she was a 1st grade teacher. What are you throwing chairs for?
Why are you letting her stay and teach if she threw a chair at a student?
10-year, man.
That would not fly.
I take it back. She allegedly threw a chair.
Yeah.
So that's there. Hey, man, I don't know. 10-year. It's crazy. I was pretty young. I don't remember the fine print, but I remember hearing the story.
That's pretty condemning.
Yeah. Yeah, public schools in South Jersey, apparently. I don't know.
I never had any incidents like that.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to witness anything, but yeah, scary, scary, scary. So, all right, there was a pause and a disconnect there. Looks like everyone's back in. Before that happened,
Spectre with Aegis.
Yeah.
This is scary.
This is where it gets scary. And also, Misery just grabbing a Vanguard after the Radiance. I actually kind of like that.
Unusual.
It's unusual, but I like it.
They have so much like non-physical damage though.
Yeah, well, that's true. I think the Night Stalker is the one that's going to be up in his face, and that's maybe what he's thinking about. But yeah, you're right, actually. A lot of their damage is coming from magic, so a little bit of an odd choice. Probably just looking for an HP buffer, though. That is one thing that Vanguard does well.
That's what Ulti Orb into Manta or Drums is for.
Yeah.
And Magic Stick.
Yeah.
Like Drums and Magic Stick is same gold, but better for non-physical.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
But he just needs to survive is what he needs to do. So Vanguard, good item for surviving. I just generally don't like Vanguard very often. Maybe if you're Axe, I think it's okay, but other than that, it's like, ugh, Vanguard. Did you just really spend your gold on Vanguard?
Yeah, I mean, you don't like it on Bristle? First item, Bristle, a nice fast Vanguard at like 9 minutes?
It's okay on Bristle. I guess Bristle's probably my second choice of hero.
Oh, Sna, you're in big trouble. There's the Finger of Death. That finishes him off. Venomancer says, YOLO! Poison Nova, but obviously it doesn't work out in his favor. Nature's Prophet ports in, and, well, WD tries to port out. Doesn't happen. That's like the easiest 3-for-0 that Team Dog are going to find all game, I think. Yep. I mean, that was just an utter disaster. They didn't even really do anything crazy. That was just
it was just a Hex on Night Stalker. Without Night Stalker, they have no fight.
And then it was one at a time now. Moonlight Shadow comes out. IX Mike will survive for now. Arrow actually connects onto Pycat. They will finish him off, that long-range Chakram, but it will cost IX Mike his life as Misery does finish him off. Now,
does he have sentries?
Does he?
Who placed that sentry? I don't know. I don't think it was a Spectre, but it could have been. It was the only hero around there.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Well, anyways, so pretty much they get 4 for 1, Lion being the only death, but still Spectre continuing to get massive.
Yep. And the gold graph, well, looking even worse from the perspective of WWD. About a 10,000 gold lead, about a 12,000 experience lead. 2 outer towers remaining, but not for long. Nature's Prophet down bottom will rat his way to that tier 2 tower falling down bottom. Total tower count is 5-2 in favor of the Turtle Masters.
Spectre is actually probably one of my favorite carries. He's one of my favorite carries to play. I think it's because, like, generally if you get a lot of items, like let's say you're Shadow Fiend and you get focused out, you're just like useless. But if you get focused on a Spectre, you destroy people. So if you get like any decent farm, if you get Radiance at like a decent pace, like anytime before like 23, 24, then you're in a very good position to. Ooh, IX Mike going man mode.
Oh, and he commits suicide there. And Mason trying to port out. He will make it out. Demon with the haste rune on. He survives as well. But, oh, Demon going man mode. He hops forward.
Oh, misses the silence.
Oh,
Demon's
boy.
so funny to watch.
I'm quickly becoming a Demon fan after watching this game. Miranda will take a fall, but, yeah, this is just going to get cleaned up by Misery. It's just right clicks down. Night Stalker will probably survive, but, oh, this Spectre. He's just dirty. I mean, Misery is 15-1-7.
He is really dirty.
Is there anything else to say? Like, you could just...
Demon bought back again?
Oh,
I told you, he just does these things that are like, what? Like I can understand him going in and just barely missing the silence on the bane and getting gripped, but like I mean, but the buyback's like what?
It wasn't just that he missed the silence on the grip as much as like he hops in like, all right, awesome Dream Coil, only catches the Venomancer with the Dream Coil, arguably like the least important hero of that spread, and then misses the silence and just gets Fiend gripped out. It's like, oh,
it's funny though.
The
it's
level
funny.
of yeah, it is funny. I mean, it was a hard Dream Coil to land. They were very well spread out, but it's just sort of funny that he dies in the instant buyback. Like,
yeah, and he didn't have BOT up either. it's pretty comical.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And look at this. Misery just going complete man mode. He still has the Aegis. He does not have a care in the world. He's like, do some damage. I got that dispersion. Look how low WWD are even in their base. They're cornered back into their tier 4s. Still getting dove. Double kill coming after the Nature's Prophet. I think we're moments from a GG here at this point. Mirana and Timbersaw, the lone defenders. Strike that. Just the Mirana. There it is. GG from IX Mike.
GG, well played.
What a game.
So this team's looking strong. It looks like they still need to get some issues under control, like unintentional feeding by Jimmy. And
Jimmy Ho?
I think overall, though, their individual skills very, very high, as evident from this game, though.
Yeah.
And their flexibility, too. I think that a lot of their roles and their lanes are unpredictable, too, because Misery typically plays support, Pycat typically carry, and Mason typically plays mid, but as we saw, they all performed very well in their respective roles, and they just completely threw Wild Witch Doctors for a loot when it came to the laning phase.
Yeah. So now the real question, though, is how different would that game have been if IX Mike maybe skilled Timber Chain level 1 or saved that point, didn't go Whirling Death, if he hadn't given up those 2 early kills?
He still would have been
a different game?
Spectre would have still gotten free farm on bottom, so that still would have been the same. It's pretty much whether or not the supports would have came from top, because it's not a matter of him dying, it's Spectre getting more than he should, and he shouldn't get anything in the early game. If Spectre gets a lot in the early game, you're probably going to lose the game.
Spectre's not known for his laning phase.
He's not. He's like Faceless Void. If you win your lane, you're gonna own.
You're rolling in the money. Yeah.
Yeah. But he shouldn't. So the support should have rotated down earlier, and he shouldn't have died, Timbersaw. But like first blow to a Spectre, it's like, it's not great, but it's salvageable.
Right.
But him dying again,
that's
at the T2.
Yeah, at the T2. That was a pretty long dive. Yeah.
And then being unable to capitalize on that is just, it's too much.
Yeah, and it kept the Timbersaw down. IX Mike was able to grab a Bloodstone before that game ended, but
it's too little too late
impact,
compared to a Radiance, Diffusal, Vanguard.
And I don't know if we actually mentioned it, but Mirana did grab a Midas in that game, which was
she can't out-carry Spectre. I think she should have gone for fighting items. I don't think it would have made a difference, but it would have led to less slaughter.
Less slaughter. Slow down on the slaughter, boys. So let's take a look at our winners bracket here. It's not filled in, but this is what we covered today. And Team Dog moved forward, Dignitas, and we saw Osiris, as well as Union moving forward. So that's where we are there. And the losers bracket is what we start covering tomorrow. Let me pull up my schedule here. And we will be back tomorrow. This preliminary qualifier tournament will be every day, and will go until February 23rd, where we'll have the loser bracket
all these
finals.
BO1?
The BO3s start later on, I believe. Oh, I have it right here. So all the next matches in the winners bracket are all best of 3s. So the only remaining BO1s are losers bracket round 1 and losers bracket round 2.
This is an odd format.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot more best of 1s than I thought. So tomorrow we will have just 2 best of 1s, the losers bracket round 1 and losers bracket round 2. So the 4 teams that lost today, 2 of them will be going home by this time tomorrow. So that's where we stand.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Going home? Ooh.
So who do we have? We have Houses Down versus PSST.
Yes.
Houses Down was the Invoker team, right?
I believe so. That was the game that was very back and forth, and Union ended up winning because of their massive Shadow Fiend.
I think that'll be a pretty close game.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win
that one's going to be tough. Dignitas versus WWD. I have to give the edge to WWD.
I think so too.
This last match, this first match we saw from them was not particularly complimentary.
I think they just got outclassed by their opponents, though. It's not they didn't play like super poorly. I think their rotation could have been a little bit faster, but like as far as their execution and team fights and like their smokings, it was decent.
Yeah, so I think I have high hopes for WWD. Should be interesting. Dignitas, I think, probably. Yeah, they lost to Osiris, right? They were that was game 1.
That was the
shutout.
Oh wait,
no.
Oh
wait.
no. Osiris.
Yeah, wait. Osiris versus PST was game 3. You're confusing Osiris and Osiris.
Okay.
Yeah. Isurus versus Dignitas was our first game, and that was a blowout. That one was like 13, 14 minutes, something like that. So that one, I don't know. That's a safe bet, I think.
Is it? There are no safe bets.
See. There are no safe bets. Yeah, that's true. So that does wrap up our coverage today. We've got plenty of Dota action coming your way for the next 5 days or so, and it will be the two of us casting all of it. So buckle your seatbelts, guys. You're not in Kansas anymore. You've got Merlini and Ziori at the helm. Watch out. But that wraps up our coverage today, Merlini. Do you have a closing thought, closing word? You're wearing your Zeus shirt. I saw
discontinued.
A discontinued Zeus shirt. We saw a Zeus 5th ban today, so shout out to Zeus.
Yeah, I have no idea why they did that.
It was a tribute to
I
Merlini.
want to see him played, okay? I don't want to see him banned.
All right, it wasn't a tribute. It was a shots fired to Merlini. Just like, you're never going to see Zeus. We're going to make sure of it, damn it.
Well, maybe one of other teams will play.
We also saw a Meepo ban today, too. I don't know what that was all about.
I have no idea. 5th ban is
5th
just
ban
Meepo.
Meepo, I guess so. Just
maybe they have a sick Meepo player. Are Brazilians known for the Meepo? Or is it Peruvians? I forget which team was it.
I don't even remember which game that was, to be perfectly frank.
I think it was... I don't remember.
Might have been the first, but I'm forgetting.
I forget the bands, though.
Oh, Google Chrome crashed. So, all right, guys, that wraps up our coverage today. Thank you for joining us. We will be casting on the Dota Starladder _EN for English. We will not be casting Starladder on Beyond the Summit coming up. So, just FYI, if you're looking for the stream and you can't find it, Beyond the Summit is offline. It is twitch.tv/Dota Starladder _EN.
And 1 hour later than today, right? So 2 p.m. start.
Yes, that's exactly right. 2 p.m. PST, and that is 5 p.m. Eastern. So until tomorrow, guys. See you later.